Imagine a driver who races on the knife edge of danger every single lap, yet almost never falls off it. A driver who lunges where others hesitate, who brakes where logic says don't, who attacks with such conviction that rivals instinctively back out. Not because he's reckless, but because he's calculated. That driver is Max Verstappen. And today we're exposing the most misunderstood part of his greatness, his risk calculation. Because here's the shocking truth. Max Verstappen is aggressive, fearless, and relentless, yet statistically one of the least crash-prone elite drivers in modern Formula One. That contradiction is not luck, it's intelligence. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Max doesn't just survive chaos. He controls it. Most people think Verstappen drives on instinct alone. Pure aggression, raw talent. Send it and hope. But that belief is exactly why rivals keep getting it wrong. Max Verstappen does not gamble, he calculates. Every overtake, every defense, every late-breaking move is backed by probability, spatial awareness, and an almost frightening understanding of consequence. While other drivers see risk as a threat, Max sees it as a number, something that can be measured, weighed, and exploited. Early in his career, critics labelled him reckless, too aggressive, too uncompromising, and yes, in his teenage years he made mistakes, because he was testing the boundaries. But here's what most people missed. Verstappen wasn't crashing because he was careless. He was collecting data, he was learning exactly where the line was, and more importantly, how close he could drive to it without crossing. And once he learned that, the crashes almost disappeared. Think about this for a second. Formula One is faster, heavier, and more complex than ever before. Ground effect cars punish mistakes brutally. Dirty air reduces visibility. Braking zones are shorter. Margins are microscopic. And yet, in recent seasons, Verstappen's incident-related DNFs are remarkably low compared to the amount of wheel-to-wheel combat he engages in. That alone should terrify the rest of the grid. Here's where the story gets uncomfortable for his rivals. Max Verstappen understands something most drivers don't. Risk is not equal everywhere on the track. He knows which corners forgive mistakes and which ones don't. He knows when an overtake attempt carries 80% success and when it drops to 20%. He knows when a rival is likely to yield and when they won't. That's not aggression, that's advanced situational awareness. Watch how Max sets up overtakes. He rarely dives blindly. He applies pressure laps before the move. He positions his car to force defensive lines. He studies braking behavior. He observes how rivals turn in under stress. By the time he actually commits, the risk has already been reduced. And that's why so many drivers back out. Not because Max is wild, but because they arrive at the corner already mentally defeated. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, do me a favour and hit subscribe. You don't have to calculate the risk like Max does. Worst case, you get smarter F1 content. Best case, the algorithm smiles on both of us. Fair deal. Now let's talk about something crucial: spatial confidence. Verstappen has one of the most accurate internal maps of car positioning ever seen in Formula One. His sense of where his car is and where everyone else's car is operates almost subconsciously. This allows him to leave millimeters when needed and meters when required. That precision massively reduces crash probability. Most incidents in F1 don't happen because drivers are slow. They happen because drivers misjudge space under pressure. Max almost never does. And here's the real kicker. Verstappen knows when not to attack. That might sound strange for a driver known for aggression, but it's one of his most powerful weapons. When the risk-reward ratio isn't favourable, he waits. He stores pressure. He forces the other driver to make the first mistake. That patience is why he stays fast until the end of races, and why rivals crack before he does. This is where fear enters the equation. Fear for everyone else. Drivers know that if Max commits, he's already calculated the outcome. That psychological edge changes behaviour. Rivals brake earlier. They turn in later. They leave space they wouldn't normally leave. And every small concession reduces Max's risk even further. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. And here's a cliffhanger for you. This risk intelligence doesn't come from instinct alone. It comes from preparation. Verstappen is infamous for his simulator work, not casual laps. Deep scenario-based simulations, safety car restarts. That's why he stays calm when others panic. That's why he avoids desperate lunges late in races. That's why wheel spin, lockups and misjudged dive bombs rarely define his Sundays. Let me ask you something. How many times have you watched a Verstappen overtake and thought, that looked risky, only to realize 2 seconds later that it was clean? That's because risk looks dangerous from the outside. From Max's perspective, it was already solved. And yes, let's be honest, he still pushes limits. He still forces rivals into uncomfortable positions, but the difference now is maturity. Verstappen today is not the Verstappen of 2016. He no longer needs to prove he's fearless. He knows it. Everyone else knows it. That confidence allows him to choose precision over desperation. Drop a comment right now and tell me, do you think Max is aggressive or calculated or both? I'm genuinely curious how you see it. Now let's talk numbers, because numbers expose myths. Across recent seasons, Verstappen's error-induced crashes are exceptionally rare relative to total race laps led and battles fought. His consistency under pressure, combined with low incident rates, is exactly why he converts pace into wins more efficiently than anyone else on the grid. Speed without crashes wins championships. Speed with crashes wins headlines. Max chooses trophies. Another underestimated factor, mechanical sympathy. Verstappen knows when pushing harder increases risk disproportionately. He understands tyre temperature, brake fade and grip drop-off at a level that allows him to back off just enough without losing time. That micromanagement keeps him out of trouble late in races when fatigue sets in for others. And here's the scary part. Max Verstappen is still refining this skill. He's becoming less emotional, more strategic, more surgical. His aggression hasn't disappeared. It's been sharpened, focused, weaponized. This is why passing him feels impossible. It's not just because he's fast, it's because attacking him is risky, and defending against him feels inevitable. Rivals know one mistake against Max doesn't just lose a position, it can end their race. That fear changes decisions, and Max exploits that. We're nearing the end now, but here's one last thought to sit with. Formula One has always rewarded drivers who understand risk. Senna flirted with it, Schumacher controlled it, Hamilton balanced it. Verstappen, he quantifies it. He treats danger like data, and that's why, in an era of chaos, he looks almost untouchable. If you want to understand modern Formula One, really understand it, you have to understand Max Verstappen's risk calculation. Because until someone learns to think the way he does, the crashes will keep happening to everyone else. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button. It tells YouTube this wasn't a waste of your time. And if you want the next chapter, my next video breaks down Max Verstappen's defensive driving and why passing him feels psychologically impossible. Trust me, that one goes even deeper. Click it now. I'll see you there.